What happens when scientists uncover something truly chilling? Well, you get a mix of astonishment and dread as experts dive into these mysterious and unsettling discoveries.
What happened? How did we become the globe-girdling, space-traveling species that we are today?
So, from eerie depictions to cryptic symbols, join me as in today's video, I'm going to reveal the newly discovered cave paintings that have scientists on edge.
These early artists were leaving messages to future generations.
A means to communicate to you and me 100,000 years away.
Apollo 11. Cave, Namibia. Back in 1969, right when astronauts were moonwalking, German archaeologist Wee Wendt stumbled upon something out of this world down in Namibia. Named after that historic moon landing, the Apollo 11 cave turned out to be a treasure trove with some of the oldest doodles in Africa. Yeah, ancient rock art dating back a wild 27,500 years. Tucked away in the Huns Mountains, accessing this spot isn't a walk in the park.
Okay, that's a very hard journey getting here.
Wendt unearthed these 7 quartzite slabs sketched with animals in charcoal and ochre, making them pretty much the OGs of representational art on the continent. Imagine felines and bovids detailed so finely, preserved under sediment through ages. And here's the kicker. These ancient artworks are shaking up the science world. They're forcing scientists everywhere to rethink all they thought they knew about when and how our ancestors started getting their art on. Creswell Cave, France. Tucked away near Marseille, France, lies the spine-chilling Creswell Cave, stumbled upon by diver Henri Creswell in 1985. Plunge 37 meters below the surface, and you're in a submerged world from around 27,000 to 19,000 years ago. This eerie underwater grotto holds over 500 ancient artworks, from horses and bison to seals and other sea critters.
Many of the prehistoric images depict animals, especially horses, bison, and great auks.
Yeah, this place was once beachfront property, believe it or not. Initially, folks were skeptical about Creswell's claims, but it turns out this place is as legit as the famous Lascaux and Chovet caves, but just way wetter. Time's running out though, with rising sea levels threatening to swallow it whole.
But it's a treasure doomed to disappear because of rising water levels. Within a few decades, the cave will be completely flooded.
To save its secrets, researchers have whipped up a digital replica for safe shoreside viewing in Marseille, Tizi, Algeria. Deep in the heart of Algeria's Sahara Desert lies the eerie Tizi, home to over 15,000 rock drawings that whisper secrets from 10,000 years ago, when the Sahara wasn't just sand and sun, but lush and teeming with life. These ancient artworks aren't just doodles, they're a peek into a green Sahara, complete with rituals and mystical ceremonies. Take the running horned woman, not your average cave drawing, but a figure decked out in horns and elaborate body paint, hinting at some serious ancient party vibes. Discovered in the 1930s by a curious French officer and later explored by the controversial archaeologist Henri Lot, these carvings got the world talking. From wild beasts to serene pastoral scenes, each etching tells a story of a changing world. How the desert once thrived before turning into the vast, dry land we know today.
There are other paintings of daily scenes from the same period. Of people dancing, people in boats on the river, people swimming and hunting scenes.
Now stamped as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Tizi Nager's mysterious art is battling against time, erosion, and human threats, making its preservation a race against time. The Cumberland Valley Caves in Tennessee, USA. You won't believe what lurks in the shadows of the Cumberland Valley Caves in Tennessee. These caves are practically a time machine, etched with some of the oldest cave paintings in North America. Think 6,000 years back. In 2013, Professor John Siemek and his crew from the University of Tennessee stumbled into this ancient art gallery on the Cumberland Plateau. Inside, you'll find everything from wolves and foxes, which you don't usually see hanging out in open-air art, to mysterious human figures, all thrown into these dark, eerie caves. Now get this, They found not just any old sketches, but intricate symbols and critters that suggest these caves were the go-to spot for some serious ritual vibes back in the day. We're talking celestial circles, spiritual showdowns, and even a warrior with talon feet from the Mississippian period. And the plot thickens with their paint choice. Iron oxide for that chic, reddish hue. Lamarsh Cave, France. Hidden near Lussac-les-Châteaux in France lies the eerie Lamarsh Cave, a place that has both baffled and freaked out scientists since its discovery in 1937. Over 1,500 slabs of limestone are etched with detailed human figures that'll make your skin crawl. We're talking lifelike faces, clothes, even shoes, all dating back a whopping 14,000 to 15,000 years. When these unsettlingly realistic paintings first appeared, they threw everyone for a loop. These weren't your typical prehistoric stick figures. They were so sophisticated that many experts just couldn't believe their eyes, sparking a wildfire of debates about whether our ancient ancestors could really pull off such advanced art. The controversy got so heated that even after famed archaeologist Henri Breuil confirmed their authenticity, whispers of modern forgeries lingered. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and boom, new studies finally put those doubts to rest, proving these creepy cave drawings were the real deal, offering a rare peek into the minds of early humans and their world. Chovet Cave, France. In 1994, a trio of explorers, Jean-Marie Chovet, Eliette Brunel, and Christian Hilaire, stumbled into the Chovet Cave in France, and oh boy, did they hit the jackpot.
Sealed shut for tens of thousands of years, this place was discovered by cavers in 1994.
Not just your usual cave stuff, but walls plastered with over 1,000 paintings dating back 36,000 years. We're talking horses, lions, and even rhinos that look like they could jump right off the rock. These weren't just stick figures either. The cave artists were way ahead of their time, using shading and perspective that'll make you question everything you thought about early human smarts.
This art is really linked, very closely linked to the cave.
And get this, some of these scenes are straight-up action shots, rhinos locking horns, lions on the prowl. It's like a prehistoric action movie. But some doodles might even show a volcanic eruption they witnessed. How's that for a plot twist? Sorry folks, no tours. To keep them pristine, Chovet Cave is off-limits to the public. Instead, you can check out a replica, the Tadrart Cavern, which is just as cool and doesn't risk the originals. El Castillo Cave, Spain. Nestled in Cantabria, Spain, El Castillo Cave is no ordinary cave. Imagine stumbling upon a cave covered in art so old it blows your mind.
But it's also the oldest art that we have in Europe, dating to at least 41,000.
They're some of the oldest cave paintings in Europe, discovered way back in the early 20th century by archaeologist Hermilio Alcalde del Rio. This cave features nearly 300 figures, from hand stencils to red discs, and even paintings of bison, horses, and deer dancing on the walls. The star of the show? A red disc that's been dated back to at least 40,800 years using some fancy uranium-thorium dating. This means either early modern humans or Neanderthals were the OG artists here. Sulawesi Cave, Indonesia. In the Maros Pangkep Karst complex of Sulawesi, Indonesia, lies Pedakere Cave, a spooky spot with some of the world's oldest cave paintings. We're talking about artwork dating back around 40,000 years, discovered back in the 1950s, but only recently getting the full scientific spotlight. Imagine walking into a limestone cave and seeing hand stencils and wildlife sketches made by ancient humans. They used to think Europe had the monopoly on ancient art, but nope, these Indonesian cave walls tell a different story, challenging everything we thought we knew. Scientists used some fancy uranium series dating on the mineral crusts over these pigments, revealing they're at least 39,900 years old. Yep, that old. These images glimpse what was roaming around during the Paleolithic era, like the dwarf buffalo Anoa and the weird pig-like Babirusa. Narla Gabarnmang, Australia. Deep in Arnhem Land, Australia, Narla Gabarnmang is a spine-chilling cave adorned with some of the oldest artwork known to mankind. Discovered in 2006 from the skies by Ray Ware and Chris Morgan, this eerie spot, boasts cave paintings dating back over 28,000 years. Imagine that. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The cave itself is propped up by 36 stone pillars, eerily modified by ancient hands. They didn't just stop there. They reshaped pillars, yanked some out, and even widened the cave's entrance. It's like they were architects of the shadows, crafting their spooky abode over millennia. The cave ceiling? It's a canvas of ancient tales, with animals and human figures that seem to watch you. And get this, a charcoal drawing on a rock slab, also from 28,000 years ago, just sitting there. Layers upon layers of soil and ash whisper stories of continuous use, dating back up to 46,000 years. Bloembos Cave, South Africa. Nestled on South Africa's southern coast, about a stone's throw, 185 miles, east of Cape Town, lies the mysterious Bloembos Cave. Discovered in 1991 by the eagle-eyed archaeologist Christopher Henshelwood, this cave is full of old-school cave paintings and artifacts that date back a whopping 100,000 years. So get this, inside they found a stone with a hashtag-like pattern scratched into it using red ochre. Yes, the social media symbol, but from 73,000 years ago.
A means to communicate, however enigmatically, to you and me, 100,000 years away.
It's the oldest piece of human doodling ever found, beating other discoveries by a whopping 30,000 years. Talk about being ahead of the curve. But wait, there's more. The cave also spilled the beans on early human genius, with shell beads, snazzy ochre-engraved tools, and more, proving these folks were not only surviving but thriving with flair. This cave's goodies suggest that sophisticated art and thinking kicked off way earlier than we thought, right here in Africa, and not just when humans strutted into Europe. Drensburg, South Africa. You might want to flick on a lamp for this one because Drensburg, South Africa, isn't just your run-of-the-mill scenic spot. It's a deep dive into the mystical and mildly eerie world of ancient sandrock art. Nestled in the heart of the Ukalamba Drakensberg Park, these mountains hold over 30,000 rock paintings, some up to 8,000 years old, created by the Sand People, or Bushmen. Now, these aren't just simple sketches. We're talking about a whole gallery of humans, animals, and these wild figures called therianthropes, part human, part animal, believed to represent shamans merging with animal spirits during trance states. Yep, it sounds like something out of a supernatural thriller, but it's all about the sand's spiritual vibes with nature, where the earthly and the ethereal mix. What's more, these artworks were crafted with whatever was handy. Ochre, charcoal, even bird droppings, mixed up with animal fats and blood. Creepy but fascinating, right? And here's the kicker. All this spooky brilliance is why Drakensberg is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Scientists are still buzzing around, trying to decode more about the sand's ancient lifestyles and spiritual secrets. La Pasiega Cave, Spain. In Spain, the La Pasiega Cave is downright bone-chilling with its ancient graffiti, dating back a whopping 64,000 years. Who do you think could pull off such early art? Neanderthals, that's who. These guys were scribbling away long before modern humans even showed up in Europe. Discovered back in 1911 by the eagle-eyed Hugo Obermeier, this cave is like a prehistoric art gallery. It's got everything from hand stencils to a quirky ladder-shaped figure drawn up in red. Recent digs, armed with fancy uranium-thorium dating, revealed these pieces are older than we thought, like 20,000 years older. This shakes up the old schoolbook story, showing Neanderthals weren't just about hunting and grunting. They had brains buzzing with symbolic thoughts and a knack for the arts. Turns out, these ancient folks were sharing more than just survival tips. They were passing around culture. Kapova Cave, Russia. In the southern Urals of Russia, there's this spooky cave called Kapova, also known as Shulgan Tash Cave. It is home to ancient and utterly spine-chilling cave paintings. Discovered back in 1959 by a bat-seeking zoologist named Alexander Ryumin, these artworks are not just old. They're ancient, dating from around 17,000 to 19,000 years ago. As Ryumin delved deeper, searching for bats, he stumbled upon something extraordinary. Vivid red ochre murals of mammoths, horses, bison, and even rhinos. This was a monumental find, shattering the belief that such old art was exclusive to France and Spain. But hold up, here's the kicker. Among these images is a camel with 2 humps, something that shouldn't even be in the Urals back then. What were these Paleolithic artists up to? And with over 200 artworks tucked away far inside, above an underground river and a mysterious blue lake, Kapova isn't just another cave. It's a prehistoric enigma wrapped in a mystery. Mura Cave, Bulgaria. In northwestern Bulgaria, just a stone's throw from the village of Rabisha, lies the eerie Mura Cave. This place is straight out of a thriller with its ancient cave paintings that send shivers down your spine. Dating back up to 8,000 years, these artworks offer a creepy peek into the lives of people who partied and maybe hunted right where you're standing. The cave stretches over a spooky 2.5 kilometers and features halls that sound like they're out of a legend, like the Triumphal Hall and the Cult Hall. The cave walls are covered in paintings made from bat guano. Yes, these drawings are far more than stick figures. They show intricate hunting scenes, mysterious rituals, and even an ancient solar calendar that goes back nearly 7,000 years, showing just how smart they were with astronomy and timekeeping. And it doesn't stop at the paintings. The cave is a treasure trove of spooky stalactites, stalagmites, and cave pearls, all nestled in a chilly but bearable 12 degrees Celsius. Discovered in 1959 and protected since 1960, Mura Cave is a spot you can only explore through guided tours, preserving its chilling secrets and ancient whispers. Tadat Acacus, Libya. In the vast stretches of the Libyan Sahara lies Tadat Acacus, a place that's as eerie as it is awe-inspiring. This spot is famous for its ancient rock art, with creations dating back from 12,000 BCE to 100 CE. These aren't just scribbles in the sand, they're vivid depictions of early human life, showcasing everything from wild giraffes and elephants to scenes of humans dancing, hunting, and engaging in rituals.
These images are believed to have been painted some 5,000 years ago.
Discovered in the mid-20th century, the site quickly became a historical hotspot, thanks to its finely detailed and realistic art. But here's where it gets spooky. The site has been under siege by vandals, and the political chaos in Libya isn't helping. Graffiti now scars some of the ancient art, threatening the preservation of these incredible windows into the past. Though Tadat Acacus is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's a chilling reminder of how fragile our links to the past are and how desperately more safeguards are needed to protect these treasures. Bhimbetka, India. In Madhya Pradesh, India, the Bhimbetka rock shelters are like stepping into a time machine. Discovered in 1957 by the eagle-eyed archaeologist V.S. Wakankar, these caves are a gallery of the ancient world, with art spanning a mind-boggling 30,000 years. Imagine walking where prehistoric people once did, under the same rocky ceilings they once painted. Over 750 shelters dot the landscape, and more than 500 boast paintings that tell tales of hunting, dancing, and mystical rituals in vibrant hues of red, white, and green. One standout piece? A massive mythical animal that's part boar, part bull, probably a superstar of ancient myths. These caves are a window into the minds of our ancestors, showcasing their deep connection to nature and knack for storytelling through art. Despite the wear of time and human interference, efforts are ramping up to keep these ancient doodles from fading away. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2003, Bhimbetka is a profound peek into human history. Kakadu National Park, Australia. Kakadu National Park in Australia is hiding some real historical treasures. We're talking about ancient cave paintings, some up to 20,000 years old, nestled in rock shelters like Ubur and Burungkui, Norlangi. These aren't just any scribbles, they're a window into the lives of the Aboriginal people who've lived here for millennia. It has an X-ray style painting that shows you the guts and bones of animals. Talk about a detailed anatomy class from the past. These artworks feature everyday life, from hunting escapades to mystical ceremonies, all crafted by people who knew their land and its creatures. There's the rainbow serpent, a major mythical player believed to shape the landscape, creating water holes and more. Then there's Namarkon, the lightning man, decked out with axes that could spark a storm any minute. But these paintings are under threat, with weathering and human activity nibbling away at them. Thankfully, efforts are underway to keep these stories safe for future generations. Fiumane Cave, Italy. In the Lacini Hills near Verona, Italy, lies the Fiumane Cave, a spot that's both fascinating and a little spooky due to its ancient secrets. Discovered in 1964 and dug up in '88, this cave is home to Europe's oldest art, dating back a staggering 34,500 years. In 1999, archaeologists hit the jackpot when they found rock slabs covered in prehistoric paint jobs that had tumbled from the ceiling. These aren't just any doodles. They include vivid red and yellow ochre depictions of animals and a half-human, half-beast figure, possibly a shaman. These pieces aren't just old. They're some of the earliest figurative artworks in Europe, crafted by early modern humans during the Upper Paleolithic era. They give us a glimpse into the minds of our ancestors, revealing their deep dive into artistic and spiritual life using red ochre, a popular pigment that ties early human cultures across Europe together. These walls tell stories, from Neanderthals to modern humans, through changing cultures and ages. Creswell Crags, UK. You're in for a spooky historical treat with this one. So, there's this gorge called Creswell Crags right on the edge between Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire in the UK. And guess what? It's stuffed with Britain's oldest cave paintings. Discovered back in 2003, these carvings literally throw us back into the Ice Age, and man, do they have a story to tell. Dr. Paul Bond, along with Professors Paul Pettit and Sergio Ripoll, was poking around Church Hole Cave when, boom, they found over 80 engravings. We're talking bison, reindeer, birds, the works. And get this, they're about 12,000 years old. That's like the oldest cave art in the UK. Not only are these drawings super old, but they also show that early Brits were not just chilling on the island. They were vibing with a whole European art trend. Now Creswell Crags is all geared up with a museum and visitor center, so you can check out these spooky old scenes for yourself. Lgal Somalia. Tucked away near Hargeisa in Somaliland, Lgal isn't just any sight, it's a jaw-dropping glimpse back in time. These caves are the VIP lounge of ancient African rock art. Here's the scene. Cattle dressed to impress in ceremonial robes, hinting that these early folks really valued their livestock. You'll also spot giraffes, antelopes, and maybe even dogs, giving us the scoop on the local wildlife of the time. Humans pop up too, caught in the middle of worship and daily hustle, revealing a society that was anything but simple. Despite its wow factor, Lgal has its share of drama. Thanks to its location in the lesser-known Somaliland, it struggles for recognition and conservation support. But with some help from the European Union, there's hope yet to keep this historical hotspot shining for generations to come. Altamira Cave, Spain. Near Santillana del Mar in Cantabria, Spain, the Altamira Cave is a creepy cool spot with prehistoric art that's just as fascinating as it is mind-boggling. Discovered back in 1868 by a hunter, and later explored by Marcelino Sanz de Sautuola with his daughter Maria in 1879. These two were the first to realize they were staring at ancient masterpieces. Dating from around 36,000 to 14,000 years ago, the cave's walls are alive with vivid depictions of bison, horses, and deer, not to forget some eerie handprints. The show stealer? The polychrome ceiling, where colorful bison seem to pop out at you thanks to some clever contouring with natural pigments like charcoal and ochre. For a while, skeptics screamed forgery due to the painting's sophisticated flair. But when similar art popped up across Europe, everyone had to admit these were the real deal. While you can't waltz into the original cave anymore to preserve these ancient doodles, a replica at the nearby Altamira Museum lets you peek into our ancestors' artistic minds without risking the originals. Cueva de las Manos, Argentina. In Santa Cruz, Argentina, lies the chilling Cueva de las Manos, a cave that takes you back in time with its ancient rock art. Discovered in the 19th century and studied deeply since 1949, this eerie spot showcases handprints and hunting scenes that date back between 9,000 and 13,000 years. That's not just old, it's mind-boggling. The cave's name, Cave of the Hands, comes from the hundreds of hand stencils plastered all over its walls. Early humans were blowing pigments through bones to leave behind ghostly hand silhouettes in hues of red, purple, white, and black. And it's not just hands. There are scenes of guanacos, think llamas, and hunters slinging bolas to snag their dinner. These paintings are a peek into the crafty minds of our ancient ancestors. Cueva de las Manos is so extraordinary that it scored a spot as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1999, preserving this spooky slice of history for all to see. Don't wander too close after dark. Karain Cave, Turkey. Near Antalya, Turkey, lies the spine-tingling Karain Cave, a real archaeological treasure trove that's been freaking out scientists since its discovery in 1946 by Professor Ismail Kilis Kökten. We're talking cave paintings from 20,000 years ago, with eerie animal figures, mystical human shapes, and weird abstract symbols that show just how savvy early humans were. Imagine wandering through this cave where humans have lived for over 500,000 years. Yep, it's one of the oldest crash pads in Anatolia. Digging around in there, archaeologists have turned up everything from ancient stone tools to a chunk of a Neanderthal skull. The cave's got remnants of extinct beasts like elephants and lions. Plus, its hillside spot was perfect for ancient folks to spy on prey and keep safe. Karain Cave isn't just a cave, it's a gateway to our ancient past, and boy, does it deserve to be kept safe. Sandrock Art, Lesotho. Out in the rugged terrains of Lesotho, nestled near the bustling streets of Maseru, lies a hidden treasure that's not just old, it's ancient. We're talking about the Habarawana Rock Art Site, folks. Vivid, eerie paintings are sprawled across rock shelters, showcasing animals, mythical beings, and scenes straight out of a ritual that might just transport you back in time. These aren't your average doodles. Crafted with natural pigments, these images date back a whopping 5,000 years, thanks to some nifty accelerator mass spectrometry tech. What's really wild? Among these spectral figures are therianthropes, half-human, half-beast entities believed to depict shamans in mid-trance, deep in conversation with the spirit world. Serra da Capivara, Brazil. Brazil's Serra da Capivara National Park, which could be straight out of a mystery novel, contains some of the oldest cave paintings on Earth. The art dates back up to 35,000 years, maybe even 50,000, stirring up all kinds of debates among those science folks about when humans actually marched into the Americas. Discovered in 1973, this place is a real historical jackpot, with over 1,300 archaeological sites. The star of the show? Boqueirão da Pedra Furada. It houses hundreds of rock shelters, walls decked out with scenes of ancient day-to-day life. We're talking about hunting, rituals, and some pretty wild animal and human figures that tell tales of a time long gone. These aren't just doodles. They're sophisticated expressions of a complex society with its own beliefs and social structures.
Do you think that discovering the newly found cave paintings would change our opinions on the human race and our prehistorical culture? Delve into the depths of history and uncover the mysteries concealed within. Liang Tadongja Cave Art. This cave, which is located on Sulawesi Island, Indonesia, is fronted by a small valley and encircled by mountains. The entire site is brimming with curiosity, which naturally encourages people to investigate it. This area is locally known as the Buffalo Cave. This region floods frequently during the monsoon season, so in the past, the buffaloes were moved inside the cave to keep them safe from it. A picture of wild pigs, created at least 45,500 years ago, is located 50 meters into the cave, which is the earliest known animal cave painting. A pair of boars are painted atop one another. If you look more closely, you can see that the artist painted the cave wall using a brush dipped in paint. We see that the hands have been styled differently using a spray technique. They sprayed the pigment on after pressing their palms up against the wall. Scientists think this location might include ancient paintings. According to some researchers, the earliest intellectual breakthroughs happened exclusively in Europe. Neanderthal Iberian Cave Art. Deep in the caves below Spain, archaeologists have discovered groundbreaking new evidence that transforms what we know about the origin of art. Since the 19th century, when the Neanderthals were discovered, there has been an ongoing problem with their image. Misunderstandings at first led to them being called Homo stupidus, and they were frequently portrayed as ape-like, basic creatures without complex beliefs. Recent findings, however, contradict these ideas. Using uranium series dating on mineral pigments instead of carbon dating, evidence from Neanderthal cave paintings indicates that these pieces of art are more than 64,000 years old. This suggests that Neanderthals were capable of symbolic expression and intentional cultural practices, as it predates the arrival of modern humans in Spain by thousands of years. Our view of Neanderthals as relatives with a rich cultural legacy that deserves appreciation beyond outdated stereotypes has been changed by this discovery. The Altamira cave paintings. Surrounded by Santillana del Mar in Spain, the cave of Altamira is well known for its amazing prehistoric artwork. This features monotone paintings and cold drawings of hands holding various animals. Stretching over 1,000 meters, Altamira is a maze of twisting tunnels and chambers that was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. The cave's archaeological digs have produced a wealth of objects that date from 14,000 to 18,000 years ago. The Paleolithic, or Old Stone Age, is when the oldest paintings at Altamira date back up to 36,000 years. About 13,000 years ago, a rockfall shut the cave's entrance, keeping its contents safe until their accidental rediscovery in 1868. The first thought that it was a fake was dismissed when it was recognized that traditional signs of historical use, like soot or smoke stains, were prevented by the unique preservation situations. The polychrome ceiling in Altamira, which features complex paintings of horses, a big doe, maybe a wild boar, and an extinct steppe bison, is one of the building's most remarkable examples of artistic talent. In addition to the animal scenes, these paintings from the Magdalenian occupation also feature abstract shapes. More details on the methods and culture of its creators can be obtained from handprints made by blowing pigment over hands that were pressed up against the cave walls. In 2002, Altamira closed to the public due to worries about the influence of visitors on the preservation. Nearby, a duplicate cave and museum that accurately recreates the cave's interior and artwork was built in 2001 to enable ongoing research and public interaction with this priceless cultural legacy. Kakadu and other rock art sites, Australia. Around 60,000 years ago, humans first arrived in what is now Kakadu National Park, which is located in Australia's Arnhem Land region along the country's northern coast. The surviving rock art in the park offers a wealth of historical information. Some of it is at least 25,000 years old. Nyombolmi, one of Kakadu's famous artists, is credited with producing the last known picture before the region was declared a national park in 1972. Kakadu National Park is home to a wide variety of rock art that shows a broad range of subjects and artistic skills across many times and styles. The X-ray style, which is defined by the representation of both interior anatomical details and outward elements, such as body, face, and limb shapes, is one well-known style seen in these ancient artworks, such as organs and bones inside the same figures. The unique creative method offers fascinating details about the customs and beliefs of the indigenous people who made them. The fact that the rock art at Kakadu serves as a historical record of environmental changes over millennia is one of its most fascinating characteristics. The painting's depictions of animals that are now extinct in the area provide evidence of former climates and ecosystems that are very different from those that exist today. Similar discoveries have been made in other places of the world, such as the Sahara Desert, where prehistoric rock art depicts a time when the environment was rich and teeming with life, in stark contrast to its current dehydrated state. These results are consistent with this phenomenon. Australia is known for its abundance of rock art. Estimates place it at between 150,000 and at up to 250,000 possible locations around the nation, mostly in the areas of Arnhem Land and Kimberley. For indigenous tribes, these artworks continue to have great spiritual importance, making them more than just historical artifacts. These paintings provide direct links to ancestors' customs and beliefs and are part of the larger meaning of the dreaming, a key concept in Aboriginal spirituality that includes creation stories, the law, and cultural values. The Lower Pecos rock art in Texas and Mexico. Even many Texans themselves frequently ignore the worldwide treasure that is the Lower Pecos region's rock art in West Texas. Hidden away close to the Rio Grande and Pecos River confluence, this isolated region has great archaeological value since it has traces of human occupation going back an amazing 12,000 years. Using the plants, fish, and upland resources of the area, the early occupants found shelter in its rock shelters and left a legacy of artwork and artifacts that offer a unique and fascinating window into prehistoric life. The rock drawings in this area are among its most remarkable features. Some of them date back at least 4,000 years, and they never cease to amaze and confuse researchers. Located in rock shelters and on cliff walls, these complex and colorful artworks escape simple translation. When Carolyn Boyd first visited the region as an artist, she saw compositions and patterns in rock art that spoke to creative storytelling and cultural expression. Her revolutionary study refutes the idea that these pieces of art are only abstract. Rather, she believes that they contain rich information that is just waiting to be understood, and may have served the ancient peoples who made them for ceremonial, spiritual, or communicational purposes. Due to their placement on private property, access to these sites is frequently limited. However, locations such as Seminole Canyon State Park offer chances for the public to interact with some of the best specimens. Colorful representations that most likely had ceremonial or spiritual functions may be seen here, such as the crenulated arch, which is a symbol for a portal to the afterlife. Beyond the academy, she spent her time teaching the next generation of local students about their legacy through the Shumla School, encouraging respect and care for these priceless treasures. The school has enhanced academic performance and created a sense of pride and responsibility in protecting their family legacy by combining science education with cultural history. For Boyd and many others, the Lower Pecos is a place they are called to live, not just a place of historical interest. They seek to ensure that these historic works of art remain for future generations to wonder at and learn from, keeping a unique view into humanity's history in the wild landscapes of West Texas by solving its secrets. Number 10. Bimbetka Rock Shelters. The Bimbetka rock housing provides a fascinating view into the millennia-old lives of early humans. These shelters, which date back up to 100,000 years to the Lower Paleolithic period, are not simply geological landmarks, but also windows into human history. They are hidden away within the Ratapani Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, India. The colorful rock murals that cover the walls of these shelters are among its most impressive features. These paintings, which have been produced across millennia, show a diverse tapestry of life throughout history. There is still evidence of prehistoric clan meetings in Cave Number 3. The auditorium may be led by chiefs who addressed their people from the famous Chief's Rock. It feels like traveling through time to go through these caves. Early Mesolithic times. The evolution of human expression can be seen in the images of animals in art, from the abundant depictions of tigers, deer, and bulls in the prehistoric era to the scenes of hunting, combat, and even elegant walks in later historical times. Whether it shows scenes from ordinary hunts or creatures from mythology, every picture is a tribute to the practical, cultural, and spiritual life of our ancient ancestors. Not only were these shelters works of art, but they also functioned as cemeteries. These caverns are where the Mesolithic people buried their dead, frequently with tools and other items as grave goods that provide insight into their beliefs and practices around death and the afterlife. The discovery of Bhimbetka by Mr. V.S. Wakankar in the middle of the 20th century drastically changed our perception of South Asian human evolution. The oldest continually inhabited rock shelters in India, are estimated to be about 750 in number, of which 500 are painted. From the beginning of human civilization to the Middle Ages, they have had its ups and downs. The creativity and resourcefulness of prehistoric people are shown in the colors employed in these paintings, which are sourced from minerals like hematite and lime. Serra da Capivara National Park. Located in the Capivara Mountains in northern Brazil, the Serra da Capivara National Park has a rich historical background that dates back to an amazing discovery made there in the 1960s. This isolated area gained fame for the huge amount of rock art, which provides details about the daily life of the people who lived there approximately 20,000 years ago. More than 30,000 paintings that wonderfully captured everyday life, immigration, and the surrounding landscape of that past era were discovered. One painting in particular sticks out from the collection. It depicts a family enjoying honey that was harvested from a beehive. Another shows a family stargazing, highlighting the connection that exists between individuals and their surroundings. Scenes of hunting, which was necessary for their survival, were also frequently portrayed, illustrating the challenges they faced, as well as outdated survival techniques. Natural characteristics of the area, such as a river that had once flowed through, attracted a variety of creatures that were both respected and feared, in addition to serving as food sources. Artifacts were found that included jewelry created from animal tusks and horns, each species painted in a unique and frequently symbolic way. A major turning point in the study of rock art was the discovery of a painting in the 1970s that included a sacred tree. This artwork, which is thought to be older than 10,000 years, depicts a group of people gathered around a tree in what looks to be a ceremonial or ritualistic setting. There is speculation that this scene shows a kind of love or respect for the tree, similar to customs that the local indigenous people still follow today. Serra da Capivara's rock art portrays a turning point in human history when people started writing down not just their everyday lives, but also their cultural and spiritual beliefs. The paintings offer a unique viewpoint on the development of human awareness by illustrating the close relationship that early humans had with their surroundings in terms of spiritual importance and dietary needs. Cueva de Nera. The Nera Caves is the cave where people have lived from approximately 25,000 BC. While stalagmites rise from the earth below, stalagmites hang from the cave's roof. Only a small portion of the more than 3 miles is available to the general public because of continuing archaeological research and the discovery of human skeletons, which has prevented more exploration. Going inside the Hall of the Elephant Tusk, you can observe the waterfall, which was a crucial source of water for the prehistoric cave inhabitants. Above, you can see where flames had earlier been lighted, close to the 32-meter-tall world's highest stalagmite, which was created by a strong earthquake. Even though there are still areas that cannot be studied, they have important Paleolithic and Magdalenian artwork, including goats and seals. Sadly, Green's sickness, an algae that deteriorates cave murals when exposed to artificial light, makes these places off-limits. The world's largest formations will leave you in amazement at their different stalactites and stalagmites. Cave of El Castillo. Important findings are made in this sacred chamber beneath a pyramid, revealing the complex historical background of ancient Maya culture. The jaguar throne is a tribute to the site's regal and spiritual significance. It has been decorated with unique paint and priceless jade brought from Guatemala. Human bones hidden nearby, probably those of ancestors or important individuals, suggest a funeral environment entwined with the beliefs of the Mayans about resurrection and the cycle of life. The bone-studded walls of the chamber point to a significant burial place, possibly that of a famous monarch. These discoveries reveal the complex spiritual and ceremonial customs of Chichen Itza's prehistoric residents, in addition to penetrating the city's historical layers. This investigation goes beyond the simple finding of artifacts, providing a strong tie to a cultural legacy that reveals the lasting influence of the ceremonies and beliefs of the Maya civilization and connects the past and present. Tadat Acacus. Tadat Acacus is an area of great cultural and archaeological significance found in the southwestern Sahara Desert of Libya. Tadat Acacus is known for its wide variety of thousands of years of prehistoric rock art, which is what draws visitors in. These Neolithic and later images of daily life, rituals, and wildlife are portrayed in these ancient paintings and carvings that are scattered across the desert rocks. The Tadat Acacus rock art offers priceless insights into the way of life and ideologies of prehistoric Saharan human communities. It provides insight into their social structures, hunting techniques, and spiritual rites, and demonstrates a close bond with their surroundings. The artwork also demonstrates a remarkable variety of stylistic and technical abilities, from straightforward portrayals to complex and metaphorical meanings. Also, Tadat Acacus is well known for its breathtaking natural scenery, which includes deep gorges, secret valleys, and towering sandstone formations. In addition to providing a striking background for the rock art, these geological features are home to a rare desert ecology that has adapted to harsh conditions. Pech-Merle Cave. The Pech-Merle Cave in France is an important place to learn about Paleolithic art because of its magnificent prehistoric murals. The murals in the cave, which date back more than 29,000 years, give a vivid picture of ancient life and society. The most remarkable is the minutely detailed representations of bison, horses, mammoths, and other animals that were created using natural pigments like ochre and manganese oxide. Among the artistic wonders of the cave is the Black Frieze, an amazing panel with concentric circles of animals that demonstrates a great sense of perspective and composition. The 6-meter-long spotted horses composition, which is framed by stalagmites and showcases the Paleolithic artist's deft use of movement and detail, is another outstanding piece. Pech-Merle's preservation is unique. Natural processes sealed the cave around 10,000 years ago, protecting the artworks from erosion and interference long ago. Because of their preservation, modern scholars and tourists may now marvel at the rich colors and complex designs that provide us with insights into the customs, ideologies, and creative abilities of our ancient ancestors. Neoc Cave. Famous for its breathtaking prehistoric cave paintings are the Neoc Caves, which are located in the southern French province of Ariège. These drawings, which date back more than 14,000 years, are among the best examples of Paleolithic art in existence. The bison, horses, ibexes, deer, and other creatures are presented with skill in the cave's elaborate and colorful murals, which are especially well known for their use of natural pigments like iron oxide and manganese. The Salon Noir Black Hall, one of the most well-known areas of Neoc Cave, is home to the Salon Noir panel, an amazing painting on the cave walls that features over 80 carefully rendered animal images. In addition to demonstrating Paleolithic humans' artistic ability, the artwork offers information about their spiritual beliefs and connection to the natural environment. To protect and guarantee the longevity of the sensitive artwork, access to the cave is strictly regulated. Lgal. Cattle herders walked these plains 5,000 years ago, looking for shelter from the sun. Every extension of rock was familiar to them. They were like sailors following the stars. One trip, however, stood out. This time, they arrived at Lgal to make history rather than to graze. The underfunded region of Greater Somalia owes its archaeological exploration to Dr. Sada Meyer. She changed Somali archaeology by finding more than 100 rock art and burial sites on her own. Her work is still extraordinary in poverty and violence. Lgal's paintings depict animals and scenes of herders, hunters, and caravans in rich detail, offering a look into a lifelong past. This historic gallery displays trade, a lunar calendar, and a pastoral economy. The artist's pride and ownership are highlighted by complex paintings of cows that refer to ceremonies or branding. The artwork created by these herders is a monument to human creativity and connection to nature, despite the mystery surrounding their intentions, whether they be religious, territorial, or artistic. Lgal is a marvel that is easily accessible near Hargeisa, even if it is not the only one in the area. Petroglyph National Monument. Over 20,000 prehistoric petroglyphs can be found in the Petroglyph National Monument. These are thought to have been made by the Pueblo people's ancestors during a time when the Rio Grande Rift Valley was at its most populated. These profound cultural symbols, cut into volcanic rocks coated in desert varnish, show the complexity of past societies. The most common method involved using fire-cracked rock, which was formed by quickly cooling heated rocks to produce carving tools. Interestingly, many Pueblo languages lack a word for art, underscoring that these images hold deeper cultural significance beyond mere carvings. The meanings behind these petroglyphs remain shrouded in mystery, sparking curiosity about their creators, rituals, and reasons for selection. Depending on the light and time of day, different petroglyphs can be seen along the paths at Petroglyph National Monument, making an exploration feel like a treasure hunt. The ability to connect with and appreciate the cleverness and complexity of long-gone societies is made possible by these ancient artworks, which provide a physical link to the past. Here, traditional ceremonies are still performed, demonstrating the site's ongoing cultural significance. Alta Rock Art. Here we are, above the Arctic Circle at the northernmost point of Norway, surrounded by amazing 2,700-year-old rock art. The everyday activities of the indigenous people, hunting, fishing, and herding reindeer, are portrayed in stunning detail in these old engravings and paintings. A reindeer trapping fence, which is crucial for getting meat, skins, and bones, appears in one of the most striking scenes. Another interesting illustration shows hunters pursuing reindeer driven into the sea during a boat-based hunt. Another story is told on a different rock face, where hunters follow a bear and finally show it being speared to death. Locals did not see this rock art until the 1960s, but since then, experts have been drawn to examine its meaning. Even so, a few of the fundamental beauty of the carvings, which are mostly of reindeer, shines through even though they were augmented with red paint for visibility. This is especially true when the low light angles typical of the far north are present, giving the sculptures a green and purple hue that resembles the northern lights. Obelisks as energy conduits. What if obelisks were more than just monuments marking the great achievements of pharaohs? What if they were energy conduits, an ancient power grid channeling and distributing energy? Typically made from a single piece of stone, usually granite, obelisks stand tall, ending with a pyramidion at the top. The precision and complexity of Egyptian construction techniques have led to speculation that aliens may have imparted advanced technological knowledge to the ancient Egyptians. This includes everything from engineering and mathematics to astronomy and medicine. Imagine the obelisks harnessing solar energy during the day, storing it and radiating it out as a steady stream of power. Egyptian priests and engineers, possibly with a little help from extraterrestrial visitors, might have fine-tuned these structures to light up their temples and homes. King Tut's alien dagger. Deep in the tomb of King Tutankhamun lies an artifact that amongst all the other treasures and relics stands out as the one that is not from this world. It's the famous alien dagger. Crafted from meteoric iron, some believe it is a gift from alien visitors. A blade shimmering with a metallic gleam, not resembling any earthly material, could have been an alien tool with mystical powers or advanced alien technology. The fact that Egyptians called meteoric iron "iron from the sky" is quite telling. Maybe it was given to the king as a token of alliance between the two worlds. It could be that the dagger is just a result of ancient metallurgy, but the idea of King Tut wielding a blade with powers from out of this world is sparking the imagination of many. Famine Stela. An intriguing inscription called Famine Stela was found on Sahel Island. This stela recounts a 7-year famine during the reign of Pharaoh Djoser, where the Nile didn't flood. According to the tale, Imhotep communicated with the god Khnum to restore the river's flow. But what if Imhotep's wisdom was not just divine, but interstellar? What if Imhotep was a conduit for extraterrestrial knowledge, which he used to let the water of the Nile flow once again? The famine stela adds another layer of fascination. Could the stela's story be a coded message about using alien technology to control natural events? The 7-year famine, the dialogue with a god, and the subsequent prosperity might all point to ancient Egyptians harnessing extraterrestrial wisdom to solve earthly problems. The Tomb of the Visitors. One of the best hidden secrets of ancient Egyptian mythology is the Tomb of the Visitors. It was rumored to be a final resting place not for the pharaohs or the nobles of that time, but for the alien beings that visited our world at that time. It is said that these sarcophagi are crafted from material unknown to this world and adorned with glowing inscriptions left by extraterrestrial travelers chronicling their stay on our planet. But these tales are often dismissed as not more than myths, but it doesn't stop us from imagining what could be hiding deep beneath the sands of Egypt. Alien DNA. What if the aliens were not just sharing their advanced technology with the people of ancient times, but they were also doing genetic manipulation? With a few tweaks, they have given us a little alien upgrade. Perhaps this genetic tinkering explains the sudden burst of knowledge in areas like architecture, astronomy, and medicine. How else could they have built the pyramids with such precision or mapped the stars so accurately? Maybe those hieroglyphs aren't just pretty pictures, but the aliens' way of documenting their genetic experiments. Those who doubt the existence of extraterrestrials will roll their eyes at this theory, but there is enough evidence that proves that it might be possible. Pyramids as alien beacons. Imagine the Great Pyramids of Giza, not just as monumental tombs, but as giant cosmic lighthouses designed to guide extraterrestrial visitors to Earth. The idea of pyramids as alien beacons is one of the mainstream ones in the lore of ancient aliens in Egypt. What if alien spacecraft are cruising the galaxy, spotting the pyramid's precise alignment with the stars of Orion's belt? These massive stone structures, built with such exactness, could have served as interstellar GPS markers signaling a friendly landing site on Earth. The smooth, shiny casing stones that once covered the pyramids could have reflected sunlight during the day and moonlight at night, creating a sparkling beacon visible from space. Seti Stargate. According to this theory, Pharaoh Seti I was not just a powerful ruler, but the ancient gatekeeper of Stargate portals, connecting Earth to distant galaxies. Deep within the majestic temples of Egypt lie the secrets of these cosmic doorways. Legend has it that Pharaoh Seti I possessed knowledge far beyond his time, given to him by celestial visitors. What if his staff wasn't just a symbol of power, but a key to these Stargate portals? The intricate hieroglyphs and carvings in his temple at Abydos might be more than just religious symbols. They could be maps and instructions for using these interstellar gateways. Alien effigies. Imagine strolling through ancient Egypt, surrounded by towering statues that seem to watch your every move. What if these colossal statues weren't just tributes to pharaohs and gods, but were actually alien effigies? Imagine the ancient Egyptians, under the guidance of their cosmic visitors, carving these immense figures to honor the aliens. Human origin evidence in the Temple of Edfu. Imagine walking through the grand halls of the Temple of Edfu, feeling the ancient stones beneath your feet and the whispers of history in the air. But what if this magnificent temple was more than just a monument to the gods? What if it held clues to our very origins, far from what we consider our world? The Temple of Edfu, dedicated to the falcon-headed god Horus, is adorned with intricate carvings and hieroglyphs that some believe tell the tale of humanity's creation. Picture ancient Egyptian priests guided by alien allies, etching these cosmic secrets into the temple walls. The stories speak of primeval mounds and celestial beings descending to Earth, setting the stage for the birth of human civilization. Could these carvings be a record of our genetic blueprint, handed down by advanced extraterrestrial beings? Perhaps the temple's layout itself, with its precise astronomical alignments, was designed to point us toward our true origins in the stars. Imagine Horus not just as a god, but as an alien mentor, leading the Egyptians and us toward understanding our place in the universe. Number 18, Djoser's Pyramid. Imagine the bustling construction site of Djoser's Pyramid, where ancient Egyptian workers are hard at work, not just building a tomb, but possibly creating an interstellar wonder. Designed by the legendary architect Imhotep, this step pyramid stands as a marvel of early engineering. But what if there's more to it than meets the eye? The pyramid's unique step design could be seen as a sort of ancient launch pad, signaling to distant travelers. Maybe it was meant to harness cosmic energies, sending signals out to the far reaches of space. Imagine workers stacking those massive limestone blocks, unknowingly constructing a structure that would resonate with the frequencies of the universe. Pyramids UFO connection. What if the Great Pyramids of Giza were not just as ancient tombs, but as gigantic cosmic lighthouses, beaming energy into the universe to attract UFOs? The pyramid's tips, once capped with gold, might have served as transmitters, sending signals far and wide, inviting extraterrestrial visitors to drop by and share their advanced wisdom. Hidden chambers in the Great Pyramid. Deep within the labyrinthine corridors of the Great Pyramid of Giza, rumors swirl about a hidden chamber that holds more than just ancient relics. A secret room concealed for millennia, discovered only by those with the keenest eyes and the wildest imaginations. Some say this hidden chamber was crafted by the pyramid's builders under the watchful eyes of extraterrestrial architects. The chamber might contain advanced alien technology, like a cosmic control room or an interstellar communication device, left behind to keep tabs on Earth's progress. Perhaps it's even a portal, ready to whisk the curious adventurer away to distant galaxies. That's all we have for today. Let me know what you think of these theories and the connections between ancient Egypt with the aliens. Subscribe to the channel for more content, and don't forget to like the video. See you in the next one.